Hey, everybody, and welcome to This Week with Doug and Josh. Doug Fields here with Josh Griffin.
Heidi ho, neighbor.
Hello, Joshua.
How are you, Douglas Montgomery?
You know what? We are in January of 2024. It's been a great year so far.
The waning days of the Ides of January.
I don't know what that means.
It's
but
like January 20th something.
Yeah. And every day is a really kind of a party at DYM.
It's a great day.
Yeah, and Travis has sound effects.
Yeah, a demonstration. They're not good sound effects, but we have sound effects.
Yeah, they're not labeled, so he doesn't know which ones they are.
He's just totally guessing, like this one. Okay. Okay, that was pretty good.
It was good. So we are a little, we're just this little podcast where we talk about this week, what's happening this week with you and me, what's happening in DYM, what's happening in youth ministry. And it's just another great week to be alive.
So true.
Do you have a prediction for the Super Bowl coming up?
At least where we live. I would say the 49ers will lose to the Ravens.
To the Ravens?
Yeah, because the color of the Super Bowl logo, have you seen this conspiracy theory?
Nope.
The color code of it will reveal the two teams, and the predominant color will reveal the winner, and it's purple.
Oh.
Therefore,
the Ravens.
Congratulations to the Baltimore Ravens, Super Bowl whatever champion.
Yeah, so many weeks ahead. You're calling it. You heard it. You heard it here first.
I'm into conspiracy theories. There you go.
There you go. I am not.
Well, who do you think is going to win?
I think the Rams.
They're Kansas City.
Yep.
Detroit.
Yep.
Baltimore.
Yep.
And the 49ers of San Francisco.
One of those four is going to take it.
Wow.
The Lions beating the 49ers would be a big upset.
Oh, it'd be so fun.
But I did watch Hard Knocks last year, and I do like Dan Campbell, the coach.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a very strong vocabulary. Swears really a lot.
He does?
Yeah, but so does the Miami Dolphin coach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I watched Hard Knocks in season. I still have 2 episodes left. I know they're out of it, but so I like them, but I like the 49ers. I like Brock Purdy. He's a Christian.
Yeah, he's great.
And
he's Mr. Irrelevant. Right? Welcome to the Download Youth Ministry Sports Podcast.
Yeah, wouldn't that be?
Question, Doug, have you ever sports bet? Have you ever DraftKings before? Me neither. I'm a Christian.
Yep.
It's illegal.
I'm not even sure I've ever bought a lotto ticket.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like to waste money.
I've had other people buy them for me, but I've never done it.
Yeah, we've given them away at
it's great.
DYM events. Speaking of DYM events, just like 10 minutes before we started the podcast, an email went out, and I don't even know who the email went to.
It went to me. I got it.
Yeah, so I don't know if it went to our entire list or just our platinum people, giving them the heads up. Do you know, Trav?
Travis doesn't even know.
Oh, people who have gone to events.
If you've been to a DYM 100 or likely an other event that we've put on.
Yeah, launching the event dates that we're doing. We're doing a a half-day training here in Orange County, May 9th.
Yep.
Then we are taking that. We're testing it here in our backyard.
Making sure it's good.
Then we're going to take it on the road. Our first stops are going to be in September 16th, Nashville. September 17th, Louisville.
Let's go.
And September 18th, Indy.
I was waiting for another Ville.
That would have been good.
Indianapolisville. Oh, well.
Then in October, we're doing a 3-day conference here, your first decade in youth ministry. And then in November, we are doing
DYM Roundtables.
Roundtables.
Back by popular demand.
Yeah, it was very fun.
Be so
anyway,
good.
Hey, we would love for you to join us at one of our events.
Hang out.
And if you are a platinum member, you get an event as part of being a platinum person.
And some of those events, when they're in Orange County, they're hosted at our church as well. So come hang out, see our youth ministry.
Yeah, we're doing something different this year. You're going to see it in action.
Yeah.
We normally end on Wednesday. We're actually ending on Thursday, and people can stick around Wednesday night and see your fabulous leadership in the junior high ministry. Show and tell.
We're going to force people to take Wednesday night off of their church because some people bail and try to fly home or drive home right away. No. Take the week off of youth group on Wednesday and hang with us till Thursday on one of our.
So you miss one Wednesday. One Wednesday for your training. You sell it as you're going to get to observe Josh Griffin, world-class junior high ministry.
I don't know about that, but come on out. It'll be fun. Those events will be posted publicly in a week or so.
Yeah. And the last time we were doing the podcast, we talked about the llama bucks and walking through all that. And then just to remind people that if you are a gold member, it'll be part of your February membership. You'll get kind of the how-to, get it all there. That's right.
Sound effects are back. Travis
That's right.
is in the loop.
And the platinum is really just a platinum membership is everything we have.
Yeah.
And there's a GIF. It's like $75 a month.
Yep.
And there's a cliff at the end of the month. It's going to
true.
go up in February, but right now it includes everything.
Everything that Doug and I have ever dreamed up is included. It's unbelievable. $75
Youth
a
Ministry
month.
University, and National Day of Volunteer Youth Ministry Training.
Sidekick, co-leader, DYM Gold, really more than Gold, Gold Plus, and then some.
And
50% off.
You're
the
hearing
store.
it before even some of our staff are hearing this. That yesterday, Josh and I said the new platinum, because platinum's brand new.
Yeah.
Let's get their phone numbers, and we will do like
do it.
hey, Doug and Josh are in the office, and in 30 minutes we're going to do a live Q&A, and we're just going to hang with
Jump
platinum.
on.
Yep.
Jump on platinum, people.
Yeah. Be
That'd
very
be
fun. Just
Yeah,
do
Travis,
unique things.
Travis is like, what are we doing?
He's hearing it for the first time. Where's that sound effect, Travis?
Yeah. Wah, wah, wah. Okay. That's good. That's more positive than I expected. He's good. Travis is good. Travis is live switching. If you're watching the show, Travis is live switching. And if you're listening, he's also doing sound effects. What can he not do?
Pretty much everything. Pretty much everything.
What can he do? What can he
not
do?
Yeah. Nothing. Nothing.
Anyhow, DYM events are coming up. Join us. If you have considered platinum or you have some of those pieces and you're like, I want to go all in, do it before the end of the month.
Yeah. Hey, Josh, let's talk a little bit about our weight bet. No, just kidding. Let's talk a little bit about...
Down 7 pounds.
That's good.
That's good.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Let's talk... Okay, this is total insider.
Oh, no.
Josh and I are in a Zoom today.
Yep.
And the guy says... he says, well, Doug, you're obviously into fitness.
And I just
And
sat
Josh
there
just
eating
sat
my
there.
banana.
Where's the bird chirping? Yep.
It's crickets. Those are crickets. Yeah.
I just thought that was funny. Like, Doug, well, you're obviously
into fitness. And I'm like, I'm obviously into fast food. I'm obviously into Big Macs. I could talk about Big Macs for a long time, though.
2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
You can too. How long has it been since you've had one?
I can say it backwards: bun, seed, sesame, A on onions, pickles, cheese, lettuce, sauce, special beef, all too. Josh, let's get serious. We've got this last weekend at our church. We had the youth takeover.
We did, and it was terrific. So if you don't know what youth takeover is, it's where the youth take over. That's pretty much it.
At our church, they took over everything but the preaching.
Yeah, so we had our senior pastor still spoke this weekend, but we had student greeters, student worship band, students everywhere, guest services, parking lot, wherever there was normally an adult, there was at least a student with them, if not replacing them. That means cameras, lights, sound, everyone, tech booth, whatever. We had teenagers running that. It was pretty awesome.
It's great.
Yeah.
Cameras.
Yeah. So if you're running, the big screen is controlled by
they did
14-year-old.
MCs.
Yeah.
They were MC. They did the announcements, the giving.
There's a couple things that were really, really good that aren't always the case. If I'm honest with you, sometimes we meaning the churches that I have also served at, when students are in the room, we don't always address them. We don't always acknowledge that our illustrations are not their world. We're talking about our marriage and they're barely dating or whatever, right? So this week was exceptionally good because the topic was good. First of all, it was on technology and the role it plays in our lives and what is influencing you, what voices you're listening to, the technology addiction, all of that. So that hits everybody. So that's a winner. But the testimony video, we play a lot of stories at our church, and one of them, it was about a student who was kind of video game addicted and phone addicted and then found real community, online and offline, whatever, at the church. His life was changed. He said, I believe. So it was this teenager testimony into a teenager-friendly message, teenagers everywhere. I mean, it was genuinely incredible. It showed me what youth takeover could be.
Yeah, that's great.
It was awesome.
So it would be great for every church to do this.
Yes.
I mean, some churches have youth Sundays.
Yeah, different ways of doing it.
Yeah, man. But this is, I think it's a great opportunity to promote the youth ministry, to get kids in front, to help the congregation see who is not the future of the church, who is in our church.
Well, and the wave starts in the student section. So when an old person or whatever, someone with a deep faith, 50 years, sees the next generation on the stage, it does something to both of them. Yeah. That's really, really good. I would say this, youth takeover, youth Sunday, whatever, not a new idea by any means. But our execution of it this weekend was absolutely perfect. And that it isn't always the case. So I'm going to try to be very real too. But I was really proud of our church. I even texted our senior pastor and I said, that message hit everybody in the room right between the eyes. Well done. So good.
That's great.
So I was proud. Yeah. So if you don't have something like that, I would consider it. We did one a year and it has already become 3 times a year. So we might be doing it too much now. I don't know. We'll see.
No, I think
jury's out.
No, 3 times a year is great.
What if it's every week?
It won't be.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
The youth take over the church.
It wasn't that good.
Sorry, old people, you've been replaced.
So, Josh, what about you made a comment about that some of the churches that you have served at as the pastor is teaching is not necessarily friendly to a teenage audience. We're trying to get students to get in church and make it their own before they graduate from high school.
Yeah.
So what do you do in this situation? How do you lead up?
Yeah, I would say, first of all, this is really important. I remember a kid who was a junior in high school who had never been to an adult service because we ran youth group.
Well, he just called it an adult service.
And he'd never, exactly. And it was called an adult service. And so we knew teenagers were not welcome there. So I would say make sure the name is good. There's a little surprise principle that just came out right away. It's the main service. It's the whatever, I don't know what you call it, but don't call
Worship
it the
service.
Yeah, don't call it the adult service or come in here with the adults. No, it's church. It's our gathering. So now I think you got to be careful there. Leading up would be giving as constructive, I would say before is better than after, input into the illustration. So the illustration is about, key relationships in our lives and where we make mistakes and how we hurt people and forgiveness or whatever, right? Have a boyfriend, girlfriend language versus husband and wife, or maybe both. Just include, instead of saying in the marketplace or at your job, say, as you walk the halls of your high school or whatever, just some nod and ahead of time so that on the first delivery, if you happen to have more than one service, they're addressed. The illustrations hit them. So lead up by giving softballs to the communicator to say they're in the room.
Yeah, and a lot of times younger youth workers are going to be afraid to do that with an older senior pastor.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to pick and choose that, wisely. A lot of older communicators don't want to be told what to do or how to do it.
So true.
For example, in our church, our pastor presents his material in a format with 8 or 9 people around a table.
Yep.
3 weeks ahead of time, something like that.
Yep. Look over the talk.
People give input. If that was the case in your church, you want to make sure that you speak into that language.
Get somebody at that table.
Do we have a high school illustration for that? How would you say that to a junior high, or can a 13-year-old understand that? Like you be that constant voice.
Yep.
If you don't have something like that, you're hearing it for the first time, I think you ask your pastor permission. Say, Pastor, I know one of the great desires of your heart is to make sure that we have teenagers in the service. Would you be okay with me giving you a few ideas post-service of how we might be able to slip ideas in on that? Now, you might have, we talked to a youth worker this week who their senior pastor said, when I want your help, I'll ask for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's one extreme.
Wound me.
Yeah, and so we know that pastor is out there.
I'll never say anything again ever.
That's right.
And my resume's on church.lookingforyouthpastor.com.
But there are others who would be like, oh, yeah, absolutely. If you can help me come up with a better way to say it, I would love to do that.
Well, and I think the warmth, especially from the senior pastor, senior leader on stage towards teenagers is huge. So if the senior pastor is like, whoa, we have a lot of teenagers in here, it's a surprise. That's not a good look. You want to be like, we love that you're here, and you're here. We're welcome. Whatever. Just the warmth, the belief, you are a peer instead of like a kid that is bothering us in our adult service. Bring them in, welcome them.
Yeah, and I would even say if you get the opportunity to teach or speak in your church, which sometimes you do, once a year, 3 times a year, usually on holidays, that type of thing.
4th of July,
you model that. Yeah. So, for example, I was talking from stage one time about when you see a teenager serving here, those of you who are over 18, when you see it, high five, give them a high five, tell them thank you, give them money. I make a joke or something like that. And I've said that enough where I was at something this week where our senior pastor and his wife were doing a parenting type thing. And he made a comment about kids serving in our ministry. And he says, when you see them, give them a high five. Now, I'm not saying he stole that from me. Maybe I stole it from him. I don't know, but we're talking a similar language.
But we're rubbing off in the best way. This is leading up. Absolutely. Yeah. It's not easy to do. I mean, I do think one of the worst things that you can do is invite teenagers into the service and then clearly have created something that is not for them.
Yeah.
And they're already feeling tension and distance, and this is my parents' church. I would just say don't emphasize, intentionally or unintentionally, that this is your parents' message and you don't have a place here. Youth group is your place. So then when youth group runs out, you leave the church because you're like, this is not my church, my parents' church. Help them feel a part of it now as a teenager. It's going to change the course of potentially their participation in your church even.
Yeah. And I would say that's one of our jobs as youth workers is to make sure our students make a connection to the church. So we've got to talk highly about it in youth ministry. We have to create opportunities where we're making sure, like if we have a silo, let's say, for example, you have a junior high or high school ministry that meets on the weekends when your church service goes on, you got to figure out a way to make sure those high school kids, especially high school kids, make their way into the church and experience the worship service. Like maybe you go to youth group one service and you go to the main service, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
But you as the youth worker have to take the lead in making that happen.
Absolutely. And part of it's just talking highly about your church and your leadership and believing in them as well and being contagious for your church, not just your youth ministry.
Yeah. And one of the ways to lead up is to find stories. And you find stories in your youth ministry, and then you share those stories, and they get told from the pulpit.
Yep.
So that's one way to lead up. It's also, when the senior pastor, he or she is always looking for illustrations. So give them, here's some life change illustrations that happen in our ministry. I think it'd be great if you shared this in one of your sermons or, as we talk about volunteers, whatever. So I was
so good.
I was with a youth pastor this week, and this youth pastor was talking about how at his church there was the pastor only promotes things he's excited about. And this youth pastor said, when the fall comes up, will you help us promote our small group launch? And the pastor said, sure, put together a plan for me.
There you go.
And I thought, one, that's great that you asked this far in advance of the fall small group launch. But I also thought, here's the reality. Most people promote what they're most excited about. Yep. So don't get your expectations that they're going to promote it at the same level that they promote their stuff. Yeah. The senior pastors always, everybody wants them to promote and pitch their ministry. So, temper your expectations, but ask.
Yeah.
Ask.
Well, and having a plan is great because the ask is going to get lost in the shuffle potentially. Sure. So I do think having the plan or being able, I'll send you the link right away or whatever.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah. It's like, don't. My mind went immediately to kids saying, "Hey, Doug, will you make sure I'm signed up for?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then they show up the day of camp, and I'm like, "You told me? Really? I don't remember. You told the wrong person."
Yeah, exactly. I always point at you and say, "Just go ask Doug. He'll say yes," and then I'm off the hook. Uncle Doug will let you into a
well, and they know between the two of us who's the most responsible. They would probably come to me anyway.
Well, and Christ-like, they'd come to me, and then
yeah. Oh man, that is totally accurate.
Did that just defeat the whole purpose of that?
No, Josh. Today, right before this, you were telling me about a great coffee that you had, and I said, "Oh, save it for the show. Let's talk about it because I love this foundation."
A couple of friends of ours, the Adam Keene Foundation, is in the business of helping youth workers, especially those that are just starting out. There is an amazing story of this young man who passed away, and the mom and dad that I had coffee with today have started a foundation in his honor, just helping youth workers.
Yeah, he was a very young youth worker, had actually interned at Mariners for a while, and then went to be a youth pastor somewhere, was in his first few years, and unfortunately passed away, left a wife and a baby.
Yeah.
And the parents have rallied around that and created a foundation to serve new youth workers.
And they're just so generous and kind and loving and want to honor his legacy and his journey by helping other youth workers. And so it was just the best, most life-giving coffee. And I was talking to them about what they want to do. And I said, well, what if you could help youth workers double their budget? And we're laughing like, youth workers are always scrambling for money, fundraising, praying for more, or just don't have any. They pay for it out of their own pocket. And we've come up with, I think, a pretty fun plan.
That's great.
To help youth ministries in need accomplish a vision that's a little greater than their operating. So your budget is maybe $2,000, and they would say, what would you do if we gave you $2,000, no strings attached? Just give us the dream, sell us on it, help us believe that you can do it, and they'll grant money.
Well, and what I like about this foundation, not only will they help with finances, but they'll come alongside you,
help pull it off,
and kind of coach you how to lead in a different way.
Yeah. So if you're coming to one of the events that we just announced, right, they'll be there too. And so you'll probably start seeing some of them.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that for the first time.
They're in. They were like, if you're in front of youth workers, we want to stand shoulder to shoulder with you and be there too. So
look at that.
Very kind, wonderful people. So just stay tuned for that. And I would say in a bigger way, there's other people out there praying for you, cheering for you, resourcing you. Like if you feel whatever, defeated, lost, underfunded. I was telling them about, even at my church now, occasionally it's a youth room. It's the junior high. And sometimes I have to share it and give it up, or I get booted from my own space or whatever. I said, youth workers are just used to that. And so they're just a fun foundation organization that's helping youth workers win and give them and being a blessing to them. Yeah. It's just terrific.
For a second, I thought you were about to say that you're underfunded in your youth ministry. No. I was like, oh, come on, Josh.
No, I'm not underfunded, but we're fighting for space, and there is limited resources.
Yeah.
Even though we're the church, they believe in us.
Yeah. Yeah. We're at a very youth ministry friendly church.
We are. It's great.
So you'll hear more about the Adam Keene Foundation, and that's be fun to help youth workers win in a different way, which is what we do at DYM. And if we can help you win in any way, whether it's training your volunteers or your weekly curriculum or your presentation and fun and games and the whole bit, we got it all.
Do we have something to show people if you're watching?
Are we going to?
Can we show
first time
the beta?
I almost signed us off.
Oh yeah, Travis has got it.
Our beta group just got this today.
What are we going to show? Are we going to be able to show them?
The first time I saw it.
This is the wheel.
Okay, the wheel,
the spinner wheel,
came out last week. I don't think it's on.
It's not public.
It's not on Sidekick yet, but it's been in our beta group for a while.
So you can resize the wheel, put it wherever you want. It'll choose whatever you tell it to, or let it be random. Yeah. So here we have choose a demonstration. And there's planets that are spinning, and it's Star Wars: Return of the Alderaan. Alderaan, that's a planet in Star Wars.
Oh, great. So
that's the wheel.
But you make the wheel yourself. It's all part of Sidekick.
Yeah, prize wheel, whatever you want.
Yeah. And so if you have co-leader, you have access to Sidekick, and if you have a gold.
Yeah, gold membership, you have Sidekick. Gold Plus, you can use the phone integrations as well.
What are we eating for lunch?
Oh, this is great. Rabbit, elk. What is human? What is that? What? Human is a type of wolf? No, what's this?
They can't spell their wolf.
Human. So the wolf.
Human. Okay, the wolves are going to eat us for lunch? All right, spin the wheel.
Travis, that's funny.
I don't think it's that funny.
No, that was funny.
Travis, give me a dum.
How about
deer?
So that's the wheel.
The wheel of destiny is in the new Sidekick. Boom.
But not yet. I don't think it's
by the time
in the beta group.
By this afternoon it'll be in.
No,
or
won't.
Tomorrow.
Oh, well,
soon.
Soon.
What's
coming soon that's going to blow people's mind is the DYM integration.
Oh, yeah.
That's coming probably by February sometime. If you've purchased anything on DYM, you'll be able to access those games with Sidekick. One click, go.
Think about this. You could be in Sidekick, buy something on your phone, and then in one click while you're in Sidekick, it shows up. Boom. It's ready. One click, it's ready to go. That's cool. Cool.
Here is Pick Me.
Pick Me is when you can type in whatever the name, copy and paste the kids that are at your youth ministry, and then do a random picker, or you could do random prizes, whatever you need chosen. You can have it on the screen.
Yeah, and we're actually going to put together a bunch of ways to use Sidekick and the wheel and Pick Me and different features. We're going to make that part of the package.
And if you're listening to this means nothing to you. Because it was all video just now.
Well, and I literally saw Pick Me today for the very first time.
Oh, it's so good. It's
fun.
Can't
even scratch.
And again,
I am so sore. I can't even scratch.
Well, you're obviously very into fitness.
And use my left hand to scratch my
You're very into Big Macs.
Big Macs.
I am. All right. Okay, look. Oh, we're going to show Pick Me. Look at this. You can customize the size of the window, the picker.
You can move it around. That's a You could change the winner is to the champion is, or
You
whatever.
could put a video background in this. Oh, it's so
You could put the wheel on here.
a wheel on a pick me. Whoa.
Yes.
Now that would be sick. So you pick a winner and then pick the prize on the same slide.
Yep.
You're welcome, everybody.
That's right.
Wow. Pretty sick.
We weren't intended to go that deep on Sidekick.
But there it is.
There it is. It's a lot
This
of
week
fun.
with Doug and Josh. Also, we should note that the picture has changed, Doug. Your picture in the bottom right.
I'm not sure it's gotten better.
It's way better.
No, it looks like I'm caught off guard. Like dweeb.
Your skin is clear.
Look at you. You have a great smile. Like I'm the happy guy.
I am. Let's be honest.
And that picture of me is like I'm spooked.
Yeah, I am happy because I had a Big Mac and you're going to the gym.
Travis, is really that the best you can do?
Say yes.
I mean, you have taken. I mean, I have a decent smile, and there's that one literally looks like somebody just goosed me.
Yeah, if you were in a casket, I'd be like, rest in peace. Hey, the show's off the rails. We need to go off the air.
Totally.
All
All right, this week with Doug and Josh.
Great to see everybody.
Yeah, see you next week.